Well, hello everyone. I am Carissa Wiley and welcome to my craft room. I'm so excited to see you all here today. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I just want to say that thank you. If you were planning on being here at 10 a.m. Pacific time and you're still here because I had to reschedule, I want to say thanks for being here, for managing the time change. If you just happened to get lucky and you didn't even know that I rescheduled and you're just here, I want to thank you for being here. We've got people from all over the world. Kathy just said hello from Oklahoma. Say hi to my son, who's also in Oklahoma. We've got Illinois, we've got Ontario, we've got Florida, we've got Barbados. I mean, Michigan, Washington, Spokane, Washington. So thanks. I am in Central California. That's where I live. It's where I was born and raised, and I'm still here. So California girl, mid-California. We're kind of rural and farm town out here, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you to all of you who have already given me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my channel so you don't miss any of my content that I share here. And if you want to share this with a friend, I would appreciate that as well. Okay, so we have like the business out of the way, right? I am going to make a card today with some waffle flower products that are not new. They've been out for a little while, but I haven't gotten to use them. And I thought it would be fun to use them. We're going to make a holiday card today because they are holiday themed. And I don't mind a good holiday card, if I'm being honest. It's one of my favorite types of crafting to do. And so hopefully you like it too. But hopefully you may get some tips and tricks out of this also that will help you in your non-holiday card making. So let's go down to the desktop, shall we? Also, it's helpful for me as I get creating. If you have a question, if you could write out question in all caps first, that helps me kind of catch that. Jen has been doing accounting all day, and she says this is a perfect way to get her mind out of numbers, and I agree. It's like a little left brain, right brain thing, right? You just divert it into a whole nother area of the brain, and I agree. Great way to kind of move your mind into other areas. So you can see I've done a little bit of pre-die cutting here. And just because I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but I thought it would be easier to die cut these ahead of time because they do, you know, cut the little circles out. But for those of you who don't know, we're going to be using the Postage Collage holiday products from Waffle Flower Crafts. Now, I want to say something about these particular products. I fell in love with them. And Waffle Flower did send me some of their holiday release, which they sent me. This is the family Christmas sentiment set along with the dies. They sent me this holly jolly background along with the stencils. But this stuff I purchased with my own dollars because I wanted it so bad. I have to be honest with you. A lot of companies send me things, but also I purchase things too. I'm just like you. And I too, Paula, love the postage trend. And so we're jumping on the postage trend today, and we're going to have a little fun with this. Now, I'm going to use a kind of fun and funky color combo for my holiday card today. I've got some light and medium pinks. I've got some medium and dark greens, and then I have this bright yellow green, which I think is so much fun. It's going to give it a little bit of pop. And I have something kind of pre-sketched out. I don't always do this, but I'm kind of going here, and you can see when I'm at work sometimes and I'm inspired, I keep these little things in my planner, and then I'll just kind of jot down some notes while I'm at my nurse job. So let's get started with some stenciling. And I've pre-die cut the Postage Collage die. I messed this one up because it went off the edge, but we can still use the postage stamps that are down here. And honestly, I don't need all the postage stamps from every stencil set, which I have 3 stencil sets here. And I thought I would kind of just pick and choose, and we're just going to stencil some of them, but not all of them, just to save a little time today. So for this one that I totally messed up and I didn't do a great job stenciling, I think I'll use the Snowman stencil set. I'm going to combine all three of the Postage stencil sets from Waffle Flower for the holiday season. And they have these stencil sets for all the seasons and celebrations. So I have a Waffle Flower grip mat here. This is a large one. I don't think this particular one's still available, but this is what I have, so we're going to use it. So I'm just pressing my pre-cut Postage Collage die cut here onto the grip mat. It's going to hold that paper in place. And then on each of these stencils, it's going to be hard to show in the video, but there is a etched line around each of the stamp areas that will line up with the stitched line that the die creates. So if I get that right in place where my etched line lines up with my stitched line, then I know I have everything in place and I can stencil this. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to pick and choose, and I'm not going to use all of the, I'm not going to stencil the whole stencil for all of these. So I'm going to do a little bit of masking with just some mint tape, because then I can go back and stencil the other areas that I didn't use with a different stencil or the same stencil, whatever I want, but I have those die cuts that are available to use still. So I'm just going to block that off. And I thought it would be really fun to do kind of a maybe pink background on this. These colors, by the way, are Concord and 9th that I'm using today, but you can use whatever you have. And I thought we would do a little glitter on this as well. So we'll do this one first so that we can set it aside to dry, and then we can work on the other ones that we'll use, which is Poinsettia. And there is a Christmas, what's it called? It's called Gingerbread stencil set. I'm not sure for sure. I'm not sure for sure if I'm going to use that one yet. So, how's your Friday? We haven't talked about my Friday yet, but I'm sure we'll get to talk about that. Hi, Mindy. Thanks so much for joining. Susie, I love this Postage Collage series too, which is why I purchased it, and I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, and I thought this live would be the perfect time to use it together. So I'm going to use this watermelon colored ink on this, and what I may do is fade it out to the lighter Ballet slipper ink. So let's talk about my day and my night. Last night, I got home from my nurse job. We're going to talk about why I had to delay the live today. I got home from my nurse job and I ate dinner, which my husband had so kindly prepared. And it was chicken, and I had some like meat in my teeth and all that thing. So I grabbed a little flosser and I started flossing my teeth, and I totally was just flossing away, and all of a sudden, like, a tooth pops out of my mouth. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, it pops onto the counter. I can see it, and I'm freaking out because that's my tooth. I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, that's my tooth. It actually wasn't my actual tooth. It was an onlay that the dentist had put on 12 years ago. And I'm freaking out because it's a big chunk. It's like a huge chunk. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, okay, does it hurt? Am I okay? What do I do? So I call the dentist's office, and they're closed on Fridays. And I was like, okay, I probably should go ahead and transfer over to the emergency line so someone can help me and tell me if this is an emergency, if I need to be seen right away, if it's something that can wait. It's a holiday weekend, of course. So also I removed that stencil. I'm going to go on to stencil number two of this set. And these are marked what number they are on the top there. So I call the dentist, and he has been my dentist for a very long time, like before James and I got married. So James and I got married over 23 years ago. So Dr. Jeter, who is my doctor, has been my dentist for a very long time, and he's a very nice guy. We're close to the same age. He might be a couple of years older than me, but he was very young when he started his dental career, and he's been my dentist this whole time. And so I get him on the phone, and he's like, hey, he's very friendly, very low key guy. Um, he's like, hey, what happened? And I was like, I'm flossing my teeth, and this big thing flew off. And I said, and I don't know if it's an emergency or not, but I'm like, it's kind of weirding me out, and the cold air is hurting. I had taken a drink of water to make sure that, I could drink on the tooth, and it was fine, but I could definitely feel like there was a big chunk of tooth missing. I've masked this off, and now I have stickles, and I'm going to put that kind of towards just a blob in the center of this snowflake. This is Stardust Stickles, and I'm going to spread it out with a palette knife. So I'm explaining to him what happened. I'm like, I took some pictures. If you want the pictures, he's like, they gave me his cell phone number at the emergency thing, probably because I've been a patient for so long, and he was like, yeah, she's not a weirdo. So I called him, and I sent him the pictures, and he's like, wow, you did a really good job taking pictures. I was like, thanks. I take pictures for a part of my other job. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, we probably need to fix that. I'm headed out of town tomorrow because it's his day off, and it's Labor Day weekend. He said, so we'll do it in the morning. I was like, great, let's get it done. So I'm like, have this chunk of tooth that's in a, so just to clarify, it actually wasn't tooth. It was just like an enamel onlay that he had created for me several years ago. So I put it in a baggie. And so I went in this morning, and he glued it back on, and all is well. But that is just like life lately. It has just been kind of, if you were here a few weeks ago, I had to delay my live because we had a leak in the garage, and, I was dealing with contractors and all that. So that's life. And we work around these things, and it's all good because I'm all taken care of and nothing was damaged. So that is my fun story for Friday. Hopefully you're not having as much fun as I did. But anyway, I'm all good, and life is grand. And I have just realized that I pushed a whole lot of product under this stencil. So I'm just going to kind of clean up some of this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe my stencil down first. This Stickles glitter glue is like a thinner gel glue, so it probably would have the tendency to go under a stencil a little easier than something a little thicker, but I still have a really glittery snowflake, and that's beautiful. But you do want to wipe it off of your stencil right away. And then I'm just going to use the edge of this palette knife, which is from the Simon Hurley collection, and I'm just going to kind of push some of this glue back into the boundary of the snowflake. Now, will it be perfect? No, but what card is, right? We all make mistakes. And I wanted to do this snowflake first because I want to set it aside to dry. Now, this is not a super thick layer of glitter glue, so it shouldn't take too long. We should be able to work with it here in just a bit. But isn't that pretty? You probably can't see it. Ooh, it's sparkly. So it is all maintenance, Susie, and it just so happened that I had been there earlier this week. I had my my regular dental checkup and cleaning. So I had all my mouth bones cleaned, and I asked him, like, did I do something? Did it happen because of the cleaning? And there's like a couple of reasons that we're thinking. So I'm going to go back, and he's going to check my lower retainer to make sure it's not pushing on that area because it was on the lower. But so I'm going to go back next week, and he's going to check that. But he thinks that maybe something got loosened in the cleaning. So anyway, I wonder if you sprayed with Pixie Spray. You could totally do that. Sprays, gels, paste, your Simon Hurley paste would totally work. So any of your paste that you have, I feel like a lot of times we stencil with inks, which is great and beautiful and wonderful. And we forget that we have all of these pastes and stuff. You can even use like an embossing powder and put that over, or an embossing ink and put that over your stencils, and then lift up your stencil and sprinkle on some embossing powder to give it a different look. So there's a lot of ways to use stencils. And the Stickles glitter glue, probably not the best option, but it was fast and easy, and it's what I had. And you want to make sure that any of those that you use with your stencils, that you clean up really quickly and clean up your like your tools that you're using to make sure that you just don't mess anything up. So now I'm moving on to the Poinsettia stencil. I don't think I am going to do all of these because I'm actually going to cut these apart and use just a few of them. So again, I'm going to throw away my masking tape that has some glitter glue on it, but I'm just going to mask off a few of these that I love. And I love this one that's kind of up in the corner over here. So I'll just use that one. I love this with all the holly leaves, so we'll probably do that one. And that's probably going to be enough from this stencil. I looked at these stencils last night, and all of my favorite designs on all three of the stencil sets are this lower center one right here. I think all of the designs in that particular postage stamp are my favorite from each of these stencil sets. Okay, so for this one, I wanted to use, let's use lemongrass for the background. Let's use this really like pop of a yellowy green and kind of make it, it's kind of unexpected, right? So we'll just ink that there. Also, I did want to point out that on the stencil, this is marked, it's stencil 1 of 4, and it says right up here, backgrounds. So you know exactly what you're inking when you do this. So that was a really awesome design choice by Waffle Flower to kind of put those additional words to kind of guide you as you're stenciling. So let's wipe this up before I remove everything. I like to wipe up the excess ink because I end up getting it on my hand. And I'm just making sure my comments are going. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about another live that I'm planning also. We were planning on doing it this weekend, but we've had some things come up, and it's actually ending up being a very busy weekend in the Wiley house. We're still working on getting our garage put back together. So that's one thing. But I have a very fun live that I'm going to do. It's going to be with my husband. Sometimes we call him Mr. Glitter, but his name is James, and he is going to go live with me on my YouTube channel. He is going to create a card. Yes, that's correct. He's going to create a card right live on YouTube, and I'm going to be standing by for his phone a friends for help, and you guys need to be in the comments encouraging him and giving him tips and tricks as we go, because I'm going to like let him do the creating. Now, I think this is going to be so much fun. He's really excited about it as well. And there's no open area on the stencil here, so I only need to stencil this. And it says 2 of 4, and I'm going to go with light. So I'm going to go with Ballet Slipper on this particular stencil. Anyway, he actually has gone to live events with me before and helped kind of help people along as they craft. And so he has heard me teach. Of course, I've been doing this for a while. So he's kind of watched me over the years. If you haven't ever seen my husband does the voiceover video here on YouTube, he did a great job with that. He recorded a voiceover for one of my videos. It It's one of the funnest videos I have ever made because he's a funny guy. And I love him to death. So we thought we would go live, and we were going to do it this weekend, but like I said, we're going to have to reschedule it. So I'm trying to find a time where we both can do it. It's going to be on a Saturday because he works as a teacher. We could probably do it on a Friday night if we had to, but he works as a teacher. And that was another thing that I shared on my Instagram stories today. If you saw that, he's actually being honored as the teacher of the week from the football team this week. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to go to the high school football game tonight. He's going to walk on the field with the football players and do the coin toss with them and all of that. So it's going to be fun. What a fun honor to know that he's touching the lives of kids and that he's making a difference. We also got an email today from a former student that just really appreciated his influence in her life, and she's now at UC Santa Barbara. And so just good things are happening here. We are busy, but good things are happening, and we are thrilled. So you guys still out there? You just listened to me blab? So this is stencil number 3 of 4, and it says medium. So I'm going to go with a light layer of watermelon. I'm going to go with a light hand. Now you can totally get all fancy with your inking. I am not. I think it's fun to just ink and not worry too much about it. So we'll ink with that watermelon there. And if you did, I think it would be fun. Let's do this. Let's grab a shader brush from Waffle Flower. This is a shader 0. It's a real small brush. Let's add like a little shadow to the berries. Maybe won't even be able to tell, but we'll see. So I'm just coming in on part of the berries to add a little shadow and shading. Also, if you didn't know, it's Free Fry Friday at McDonald's, so don't forget to get your free fries. This is not a paid advertisement. I decided to add a little shading up here too. So, all right. Blend that out, blend that out. Wipe it down, and then we'll move on to stencil number 4. And then I think we'll pretty much be done with our stenciling. So let's do this. Oh, I love this choice for the background. Sometimes I don't love my choices, but this one I love. Okay, this is the 4 of 4. It's the leaves and the centers. It tells me right on there. I'm going to line it up. Again, those etched lines will line up with the stitched lines that are around these postage stamps. So all I have to do is look through that stencil, make sure I have my etched lines in line with the stitched edge of those postage stamps, and then I can hold it down with my grip mat. And I am going to just, again, mask off because I'm only using certain stamps from these die cuts, and that will allow me to save these other stamps and use them in different ways. Now, I do want to point out, I did, once upon a time, I created a holiday card with the Waffle Flowers Holly Jolly background and the little mini stamp that they had, or the mini postage stamp die and stencil bundle, and that's available over on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see another one using like a postage themed product, you can see that there. Now this is the leaves and the centers. I'm going to be careful not to get this dark green into the center of my poinsettia up here, but I'm going to use this. I think I'll use 2. We'll go with some smaller Waffle Flower blending brushes. This is a shader 1. And we'll go in with this juniper ink kind of over the entire area. And then we'll come in with the rainforest to add some drama near the base. So I don't need to go like super light on this because I will have the opportunity to add my shading with a second color. If you were only using one color of ink, you could do your shading by just kind of blending out like I've done on this leaf here where the edge is still a little bit white. But as I mentioned, I'm going to be bringing in a darker color, so I don't need to kind of be gentle with my blending here. I'll just blend over all the leaves, and then I'll come in with a small brush and add some shading where I want it. I did want to mention also that I do have links to most of the products that I'm using today in the YouTube description. So I put that up there, or put those in ahead of time, and the stuff that I'm using that I didn't know that I was going to use, I can go back and add those later. So I'm just going to wipe off the excess ink from the stencils, and then I'm going to grab my rainforest ink and do a little deep dark shading on these holly leaves. Now this has become a staple for me in my Christmas holiday palette, or my Christmas and holiday palettes this year. I just love this deep dark rainforest. It's what I kind of call a chameleon color because it can almost lean a little blue. It's definitely got some green in it, but you can use it really easily as a black substitute as well for like a sentiment, which is a beautiful, beautiful effect. So I'm just picking some areas to add some deepness and darkness to the holly leaves. You can do it however you want. You could blend all in one color. It still looks beautiful. And then, as I mentioned before, you can use your stencils to add some paste to these as well. So if that's your jam, go for it. And we did that, of course, with that snowflake. If you are just jumping in, thanks for joining me. My friend Shelly's here, so thanks for joining me. And Jen says she loves the color choices, some of her favorites from Concord and 9th. Yes, thank you so much. This color palette has dominated my card making this year. My holiday card making, I should say. Now, I don't want to grab another color, but I need another color for the center of my poinsettia up here. And so I think I'm just going to use the lemongrass again. And we will just kind of pop some of that lemongrass in the center. I feel like it needs to be a little more golden than the lemongrass, but as I mentioned, I'm not sure I want to get up. Also, have we noticed, oh, I got a little thread in there. Have we noticed, I don't want to jinx it, but the dogs are being very good today so far. So I'm pleased with them. Charlie's actually laying here in the craft room with me. Okay, so let's peel and reveal. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that lemongrass in the center there. I'm cool with that. All right. Now, I also have the gingerbread stencil set, but I think with the 3 of these, I'm probably going to have enough to create the card I want to create. So I'm going to go ahead and just start trimming these apart. Now, you can use this like die cut just as it is, but I wanted to trim them out and use them as individual little postage stamps. This is still very wet, so we're going to just put that aside and let it dry still. And what we'll do is we'll make a dummy postage die cut to hold that place while that one still dries. Okay, so I'm going to grab a trimmer here, and I'm going to trim these. Lots of straight lines, so this should be really easy with a trimmer. And I have a wire guide trimmer here, so I'm just going to trim along that line. And this is going to give me the individual postage stamp shapes for my card. You can see this is really easy to do. You could do it with a guillotine trimmer. You could do it with scissors as well. Look at that. Adorable. And then all of these that I masked off, I can use those and stencil them individually. I could have stenciled all of them all at once here in my live today, but I was just trying to save a little bit of time. So rather than have all of the elements everywhere, dare I? No, can't do that yet. You know what? In fact, I know what I'm going to do. Because this is too wet to work with, I'm going to go back and stencil another one of these snowflakes, but I won't put the stickles on it. Oops. I was talking and I just cut through this one, so I won't be able to use this one, but there you go. That's how it works. But I am going to trim out this postage stamp, and I'm just going to redo my little snowflake while that one dries that has the stickles on it. So because we have to finish the card today, right? I mean, can't just not have a card. This will be super fast as soon as I find the right stencil. So this is the Snowman stencil. I have that background or that outline again that I can line up with the stitched line on that postage. Because I don't have any other cardstock around here, I'm not even going to worry about masking it. I'm just going to go in with the same colors ink I used before, which is watermelon. And I'll start in this upper left-hand corner and kind of work down. And ballet slipper. There we go. Ballet slipper is such a beautiful, warm, soft pink. It is one of my favorite colors from Concord and 9th. It's just such a soft and pretty pink. Blushy, very blushy. Okay, some of the light pinks that are out there are a little cooler. I prefer a little bit warmer of a pink. So, okay. A little snowman there sticking. And because this is so small, oops, I just moved everything. Let's fix you, because that's annoying. Okay, I think we're back centered. Okay. So these are the 3 stamps that I have, and I thought these would be a good little mix. And now I have some of the stamp sets that coordinate with this, and I thought we would kind of dress these up a little bit. Have the Royal Post one. I have, this one's called Postage Collage. This was the OG, I think. And then this one's the North Pole one. So I thought we might, I'm thinking about this one, because if I add stamping, no, I could do that. Okay. Let's do, I kind of wanted some of these just like little 30-cent and forever stamps on the bottom of these, just to make them a little more realistic. And we're going to go in with a black ink for these. So I will grab my Gina K Obsidian Amalgam Black ink, which is one of my favorite blacks, probably my most used black ink. We're just going to stamp some details on these. I think for this, I want to use this cancel stamp. Anybody have questions? I would love to answer those while I'm doing like this fussy work. Okay, like that. Perfect. And then let's see. Oh, there's the forever one. I love that one. So we will put that along the bottom, the top, the bottom, the bottom. Okay. Okay, and I need to think about where I'm going to put these. because that's going to make a difference of where I stamp kind of on this one. Oh, I can turn this one. Okay, let's do it like that. Okay, Mochi has decided, no. They have decided that something is happening outside, so we're going to go ahead and close that door. Apologize for that. The dogs are making a little noise. And let's see, first class mail, that would be a fun one to place on the bottom of this. Right there. Okay, love that. Maybe, I didn't use any of the Christmas ones. Let's see, let's bring one in. Let's do this one. I don't want to do this one because it's a snowflake and it's on a snowflake. I think this delivery one is the best, my best bet. So, I think we'll do this. And we'll kind of let it bleed off the edge, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, cute. Love it. All right. Is everybody feeling the fall vibes yet? We talked about pumpkin spice last time. We talked about the Ninja Creamy last time, and some of you even sent me recipes. So thank you so much for that. I have my 3 postage stamps, and I think what would be fun is to take some of these that I've pre-cut and kind of layer them up. So my puppies, someone said, are adorable. Marianne said that. They are not adorable right now, in my opinion. They are being naughty. And I don't like it when they do this during a live, but I can't exactly yell at them right now. Okay, so I think we'll do that. There. We will do this one is the lower center as well. So we'll do this one in juniper. Bringing in my greens here. These are all the coordinating cardstocks for the inks that I use. We'll kind of do that, I think. And what color do we want? I don't know if I want to do this green. Maybe we'll try the pink, the watermelon for this one. Jen says it's 83 where she's at and that it was in the 90s earlier the week and she can't wait for fall. I cannot wait for it to be a little bit chilly in the air for us to be able to wear some sweats or sweatpants. I think that that just sounds dreamy. But today in Central California, we're in, let's see what they're telling me this weather is like. It's 91 and sunny. That's what it says. So I'm thinking we go like this and we create like this little collage on the front of the card. And then we need something to place it on. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on, do I want it on a pink background? I might want it on a pink background. I'm going to grab oh no, I have some right here. Perfect. I have some more of this blushy colored cardstock. I'm going to run it through my die cut machine using, this is a diagonal stripe cover plate from Concord and 9th. I wanted like a simple, like striped background that might give me kind of that airmail feel, kind of, you know how like the postage, it has like the red and blue around the edge. So this is kind of the idea of mimicking that, but not, you know, not with that particular same idea. So you can see I have that just light color there. I'm going to mute myself for just a second. Okay. I had to have a little conversation with the dogs. Nope. And there they go again. Mochi, come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, good boy. Okay, Mochi's going to stay in here with me for a minute. That'll get him to settle down. You can probably hear him breathing and huffing and panting right now because he's all like worked up. He is a little guy, but he is like super, super loud. He can get loud. He can make his voice heard. In fact, he's the one who taught Charlie to bark. When we first got her, she didn't bark at all. And now she's like a master barker. Okay, I'm going to trim this down. See if I like the pink. Anybody have some kids playing football right now? Football's a big thing, I know, in the Midwest. I know a lot of people love their football season in the Midwest. That is really cute. I'm digging it. Are you digging it? I could do a white background, but I think this pink is kind of fun. Might even be fun to do some white splatter on there. But I'm going to take and I'm going to stamp one of these. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas from our home to yours. Let's see. Wishing you both. I think I'm going to do the Merry Christmas, everyone. This is really cool. I didn't actually realize this until I looked at the Waffle Flower Instagram the other day. This is number 6 here. Merry Christmas, everyone. If you look at the dies, there's actually supposedly a number. There it is. Probably hard to see, but a number 6 on the die that coordinates with the stamp. Another genius move from Waffle Flower. I love that. And I'm going to do this onto some white cardstock. Mochi's like standing at the door because Charlie's barking out there and he wants to be in on all of the action right now. I'm trying to find just like a scrap that I could do this on because really... I'm so glad that I'm not the only one with unruly dogs, but it really does during the live, it's really hard for me when they start barking because I get very concerned about everybody being annoyed by the noises. So I apologize. I wish I could just yell at them and make them stop, but a lot of times, as you just witnessed, didn't do a whole lot. Okay, so I'm going to do this in Rainforest. I'm doing it with a block. I'm not even doing it with my Misty stamping tool. That's pretty. Okay, then I will die cut this using the coordinating die. Might die cut an additional one to give it a little bit of loft and weight on the front of my card. You know, I never thought I would be the kind of girl that would want to take the time to do, you know, extra layers for things, but I really love the finished look. And it's not that I'm like a super patient person, because I'm not. It's just, I love the look, so I do it. And that's really how it goes. So we'll just do a quick another layer. Yeah, Kathy Zilski does call it free range stamping. And hey, Robin, thanks for coming in. By the way, if you're just coming in, you can catch the replay. You can go back and watch it from the beginning on the replay. It'll be available right after I'm done going live here. And so if you've missed something, you want to see what I'm working on, you can always go back and catch the replay. So I really appreciate you being here. I'm so glad you're here. Honestly, you guys make this so much fun. One of my favorite things in all of this is actually interacting. And I love that the live streams allow me to do that. Probably a little more than when I post a video, because when I post a video, I read all the comments, but I don't always have time to respond to them. And then I kind of feel a little bit bad. But I love to be able to just interact with all of you. It's one of my favorite things about live events too. I love to do live events with companies because you get that interaction element. I'm looking for a scrap of this because I feel like that could be a really fun background for that. It needs something. I feel like it needs something to differentiate it from those things. And I had scraps of all this cardstock. Now I can't find it. Oh, do you guys want to see something my daughter did for me? Remind me at the end. Okay, this is your job. If you're here at the end, remind me. I'm going to show you something that my daughter did for me that I'm loving for swatching cardstocks. So I'm just going to take some liquid glue and glue these to their shadow layers. When you can start gluing things together and you have less things to kind of fuss with, then you're a little bit better off. And if I wanted to go back and add the glitter to this piece right now, I would love to do that. It's not going to dry in time, so I'm just going to move forward with that. But just keep in mind you can add glitter and sparkles and shine to your snowflake with some glitter gel, glitter paste. Let's see. Let's go. Okay. So we're going to make basically like a postage gallery here with our items. If we get it all where we want it, so if I kind of figure out how I want all this. Charlie's still going to town out there, y'all. She is having a time. Okay. If I get this where I want it, and then, oh, you know what? I wonder if someone's here working on my house. I wonder if that's what we're doing right now. Because I thought I heard a voice outside. We've had, so we had the, many of you know we had the water heater situation a couple weeks ago, but we've also had a sprinkler situation, which we have someone to come. We have a big hole in our yard right now because it was leaking over into our neighbor's yard. And they had to dig it up, but they dug it up the other day and then they weren't able to finish it because there was some stuff that they needed. So anyway, so we have just people coming all the time right now. So I got those all positioned kind of where I want them. I'll just make sure that they're going to look good on the card front. And I'm going to flip it over. And I'm just going to start adding some foam adhesive to the back of these. And I'll overlap it so that they'll all stay stuck together as like one piece when I go to adhere them. So I won't have to figure out my positioning. Also, I've been working behind the scenes on a new line that's coming from myself and Spellbinders. I'm a licensed designer, and what that means is I kind of direct what I would like to see, and they have talented actual graphic designers that make my vision come to life. So a lot of times I send them over like these really sad looking sketches, but that line is coming in October and I'm super excited about it. It's called the Shine Bright Collection and it is right up my alley. I cannot wait for all of you to see it, but I've been working on some of the promotional stuff that's going to happen by when it's all released. So that's coming. Really excited about that. Okay, so now that I have those all kind of glued together, this one doesn't, okay, I need to put a little more foam here because these two where they overlap are not quite adhered very well. Okay, then I can remove this. So cute. And I'm going to put that there. I'm going to do this here. I'm going to pop that up higher than the stamps. And I'm going to trim this down. We're coming in for the landing, folks. I've been live for 53 minutes. I think I can make this happen before we end today. I think we can make it happen in like an hour. The card portion. And then I can show you the project that I've had my daughter working on, who is, we call her my little personal assistant. She does all of my, she doesn't do all of it, but she does a lot of my organizing and labeling and stuff like that for me. It's a huge help. I pay her, of course, but she is, I love it because I can give her like all of this stuff. Yeah, Teresa, I wanted to cut a colored offset layer and I can't find my cardstock that I had out here for that. I had like a stack of all these colors and now I can't find it. So before I glue it down, I will do that. Oh, here it is. I was thinking of this color. I don't want to do the pink again. Let's see. Maybe I'll repeat the rainforest. Okay, Mochi's being a very good boy right now. Nope, that ain't it either. Here's my deal. If it's the pink, nope. Might be this. I'm gonna try this. Have to find the dye. I'm gonna try this lemongrass color. Let's see how that looks. If you have votes, feel free to put your votes for the color of offset for the sentiment right now. Jen's dog is going crazy too. And Crystal says she caught a live. Yay, I'm so glad you're here, Crystal. Every one of you are just very important to what I do, and I'm thankful that you're all here making time in the middle of your day. Ooh, okay, Aramel, I love the idea of the vellum. The other thing I want to do, nope, that's not right. We're going to try the vellum. Is it Aramel? Is that how you say your name? Or is it Aramel? That was a great idea. Even, you know what else would be nice is a gold layer. The gold layer would be nice too. That's a possibility. I lost my train of thought though, so let's try this. Oh, the other thing I wanted to add to this, which I haven't talked about yet, is a little bit of gold thread, which is like I'm feeling that right now. I'm feeling the gold thread messy nest thing, if you've seen it. Everybody's saying white, lemongrass, Aramel. Okay, so I had it right the first time. That's a really pretty name. What? I would like to know more about your name, Aramel. What does it mean? Oh, the vellum is it. Aramel wins the day with the vellum idea. So we're going to just add a little bit of liquid glue. And the other reason that this is going to be perfect is that we're going to add that messy nest of thread underneath it, the gold thread. And I'm just doing that at a little bit of an offset. We're going to double it up. We're going to add the thread underneath, and then that is going to be the perfect. Let's see. Let me grab the thread. Mochi's being a good boy. Mochi's a good boy. Are you a good boy? Let's see. We're going to bring the gold in this area. So just a little messy nest of gold thread. We'll place that kind of down here under it. This is what I know what I'm going to do to make this easier. Because I'm going to double the foam on the back of the sentiment, I'm going to put one layer of foam down. I'm going to do my thread, and then I will lay my sentiment over the thread. I have an extra piece of this backer paper that will allow me to kind of lay this down without it being stuck to my work surface, although this wants to be a pain right now. We'll just, oh, it's her first initial, middle initial, and last name. I just thought it was a really pretty name. Mine would not work like that. I have probably I would say a more unique, well, I guess my whole name, it's not super common for my age anyway, but my middle name, you guys want to know my middle name? I don't often talk about my middle name because it's not my favorite. I'm sorry if it's your name. Guess maybe I shouldn't say what my middle name is. My middle name is Noreen, and it's actually a family middle name. It is my grandmother's middle name, was my grandmother's middle name. It's also my mother's middle name, and it is my middle name. And Charlie is still going on and on out there. Okay, I'm going to do this. We're just going to get it. Okay, perfect. I'm going to trim off that. Okay, then we're going to add another layer of foam adhesive behind this. I'm kind of just smashing it where I want it. And then we'll adhere that over the, over the card base. So, oh yeah, that's it. Okay, that's it. That's what we're gonna do. Not a super complicated card. Honestly, if you did do all of the stenciling on all of the stencils and kind of cut them up and mixed and matched them, you could have a lot of postage stamps that you could create several cards all at once. But I just wanted to kind of give you the idea that you don't have to use the postage stencils from all the same set to create a card. You can mix and match them, which is a fun way to use these. I'm going to place these here. I'm just kind of making sure that my margin here and my margin over here are similar, and then on the top and bottom that they're similar. And I'll place those down to have that little bit, and then I'm going to do this right over the top. I love this. This needs a little haircut. And if you want a little time to kind of move your sentiment around, what you can do is put some liquid glue on the back of that foam adhesive, and that will allow you to kind of move it around. I'm going to tuck this little loop right behind there before I place it down. And, okay. The vellum layer was the winner. I like it. I'm loving that. And The gold would be pretty too. And I think we need some sparkle on this. A little more sparkle. I'm running over time. We might do some sparkling clear sequins to finish it all off. But for now, I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to score it at 4.25 inches to create my A2 size card base. I do love family names. I did not give my daughter the middle name of Noreen, but I do love family names. In fact, my son has my husband's first name as his middle name. So my husband is James and my son is Preston James. So I love to do that. I have a brother who's a junior, and Preston was actually, we didn't choose it for this reason. It just happened to be. But Preston is a family name on my husband's side of the family. So it ended up being a family name. Let's do this. It's so easy to get distracted when I'm creating and trying to talk to you guys too at the same time. So I make these foam adhesive panels and keep them in my drawer to pop up entire card fronts. And I make them one size and then I just trim them down to the size that I make my card front in the end. It works out really well. It gives you a solid layer of foam and gives you a lot of support behind your card fronts so that if you are mailing them, they don't get crushed. So I just trim that down. And then those little strips that I trimmed off, which are like right here, I use those. You saw me use them behind like my stamps and stuff. So very easy to reuse that extra and nothing goes to waste. I have a cousin whose middle name was Jean, Heidi Jean. And I'm gonna just remove the background. I'm kind of using my computer monitor to make sure. Okay, I love that. I love those postage stamps. I think that's so much fun. Let's finish it off with a few sparkling clear sequins, and then I will show you guys, as I promised, what my daughter has been helping me with, and maybe she should do a video on how she does it. Maybe she should be the one to explain it, how we do my cardstock swatching, because she's been doing it for me. Let's see, I'll do this. So I like for my sequins to kind of overlap things. I love for them to be different sizes. Sometimes I like to tuck them under. I'm gonna get them where I want them. And then, this is too big. One more of these. Thank you all. I'm glad you're liking this card. I hope that you picked up some tips or tricks along the way. I hope you've enjoyed chatting, because I surely have. It's been a great middle of my day Friday. I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to have some lunch. I'm going to go catch my workout for the day before we run and do some other activities this afternoon and end up at a football game this evening. So it's been a great little break in the middle of my day. I was creating just a tad bit right before we went live. I'm working on the Pink Fresh Studio August release, which is actually coming at the beginning of September because it got pushed back a little bit. So I'm working on that. Excited to share that with you all. And I am just putting some sparkling clear sequins on here. If I had my sparkly snowflake like I had originally planned, I may not need as many of the sequins, but It's always fun to add some sparkle and shine to something, right? And we'll do that. All right. So there you have it. We have Friday Night Lights. Yes, yes, yes. The Craft Addict, Vicki at the Craft Addict, Friday Night Lights. Marianne says she loves my lives. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And this finishes off my card for the day. Isn't that beautiful? Love the mix of the postage stamps from all the different stencil sets. I did not use the gingerbread, which I thought I might use, but I didn't. So there you have it. Let's go to the side by side. Ah, we got a little crazy hair there. Awesome. So there you have it. There's my card for today. Beautiful holiday themed card using Waffle Flower Crafts. Some colors from Concord and Ninth. I love this palette for the holiday season. That bright green is not a part of my favorite color palette for the holidays this year, which I've shared on YouTube. I actually replaced Stardust in that with the lemongrass, but I think that pop of green is really fun on this particular card. So there you have it. Before I get into what my daughter has been helping me with, I just want to say thank you all. If you have to run, thank you all for being here. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate all your thumbs up. I see 50 of them. Thank you so much. I am planning, let me look at my calendar. I think I have a live planned. I may be going live next Friday, hopefully, depending on my time, because I'm working on another big release that I have to get some stuff done. But if not next week, then for sure the following week I will go live sometime during that. Watch my Instagram because I share there about when I'm going to go live in my stories. I also try to schedule it ahead of time on YouTube so that you can see it and turn on the notifications. So thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed this card. And now we're going to get into what my daughter has been helping me with. So we'll set this to the side. And as you may or may not know, Altenew has released some new cardstocks, and there are more to come. But these are the ones that they have released so far. And so my daughter has been helping me swatch my cardstocks and label them for me. Now before, when I had my cardstocks swatched, I actually had this ring before, but they weren't labeled. And that's because they were all Concord and Ninth cardstocks. And I know their colors really well. But as I started getting more cardstocks, and I have more cardstocks than this, but these are the lines that I use them a lot. So it's helpful for me to be able to pull out and make color combinations or things like that. So as I've gotten more and as Altenew has started adding cardstocks to theirs, I thought it would be important that I label them so that I know what colors that I'm using and also what company they're from. If I pull them out and they get mixed up, I can put them right back in where they go. So I have these gold, of course they're gold, binder clips, which I just got off of Amazon so I can open and close these. And what she's done is she has taken my label maker and she has added the company name and the cardstock color name and added those to the bottom of all of my cardstock swatches. So she's been working on this. And so we have all the Concord and Ninth done. She's like, Mom, I even did the white for you, just in case. I couldn't tell. So there's that. She's been working on that. And then these are all the brand new Altenew colors, which I love this rouge color. In fact, let's look at it next to some colors that you may be familiar with. Similar to the Concord and Ninth Grapefruit. As far as weights, I don't think I can compare them because I don't want to misspeak, but these are the Altenew cardstocks are a great weight. They're nice and smooth. Crimson, I think this color is unique. It's not like anything I have over here. So that's a beautiful color. You can see it's a little different than the poppy from Concord and Ninth. And so I'll just flip through these real quick. There are more coming from Altenew. So they are releasing cardstocks over the next few months, different colors. These match their inks, which they've been switching over to the fresh dye inks. And so they have inks in a lot of these colors. And so this is kind of fun to see them release their cardstocks as well. This Volcano Lake is a beautiful color. I think it's different. It's pretty different than some of the others that I have in that family. It kind of looks similar, and it definitely blends with some of them, but it is different than these for sure. Has a little just different tone. So it's really beautiful. That lagoon is really pretty as well. And this one took me by surprise. This is called Winter Lake. And it is a beautiful denim-y blue. And I'm not a blue girl. I'm going to say it. I'm not a blue girl, but this one stole my heart. And look at it with this Arctic mountain. So pretty. Love that. So that's what my daughter's been working on for me. I hope you enjoyed that little peek at that. And I hope that gave you an idea for swatching your own cardstocks. I think swatching is great for putting together ink colors, or color palettes, I should say, to create a project. I think it's just great. A lot of times I'll start with the cardstocks, and then if I need an ink, I'll pull out the coordinating ink to do the stamping or whatever. So that's oftentimes how I build a palette. Have I glimmered on which ones? The Altenew ones? I'm not sure if I have or not yet. I know I've glimmered on Concord and Ninth. They're fairly smooth, and with most cardstocks, there is a side that seems to be smoother. I would assume that they would probably glimmer just fine. I'm trying to remember if I have or not. I don't think I have. Also, did want to say these measure 4 inches by 2 inches, so I thought that might be helpful for you. And then we just punch a hole in the top. So no special dies needed. We just trim them down and create them that way, and then label them with my Brother label maker that has the white writing on it. So there you have it. Any other questions I can answer for all of you before I head out for the day? I would love to answer those now. Thank you, Laura, for being here. Jennifer, I'm so glad you loved the look at the swatches. And I can't wait to be live with you guys again. Don't forget, I will be announcing my live with my husband very soon. We're going to figure out a date and get that scheduled so you all can set the notification. It's going to be on a Saturday. I'm thinking it might be Saturday, September 14th. And what I'm going to do is I am going to create a card. I'm going to give him the card, and I'm going to set out the products, and I'm going to let him create the same card and see how he does. So do I have a different ring per company? Yes, I do right now, but if you don't have a ton of cardstocks, you wouldn't have to have a ring for every company. You could just kind of mix and match them. But a lot of times when I'm creating, like with a release for Concord, I would only use Concord on their releases, and Altenew, same thing. So, so there's that. What was the stamp set you used as the sentiment for the card? That is the Waffle Flower Crafts Family Christmas Sentiment Set. This is by J.J. Bolton, and it has coordinating dies, which I love. So that's a great little holiday. And I love this because it really has, it's not just from me, it's like from all of us, or from our home to yours, from our house to yours, for your family. It's really built on wishing them to a family. So thank you all for being here. I think that's all the questions that we have for today. I can't wait to see you live again here. But in the meantime, check back on Monday because I will have a pre-recorded video for you using some brand new products from Altenew. So thanks again for being here, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.